Will obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. You're so fortunate to join us from the straight Dham of Haridwar. Probably you're bathing in Ganges as many times as you can. Please keep giving us your association, Madhavji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna devotees, we are very fortunate to have His Grace, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj, who is going to be our keynote speaker. Prior to his joining and giving the class, we will take a brief moment to introduce him, and it is as follows. So, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj was born in New Jersey in 1947. Maharaj came in contact with the International Society of Krishna Consciousness in Denver, Colorado, at the age of 24. In 1973, he began practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City and shortly thereafter began serving at the New Vrindavan Farm community in West Virginia. That same year, he received initiation from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In 1986, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj accepted the sannyas order and began preaching in Cincinnati, Columbus, Ohio. In 1995, he began serving as a resident sannyasi here in Chicago, where he was based until 2013. And then he relocated to Pralovac, Croatia, that's in Europe. At present, Maharaj offers spiritual guidance around Europe, USA, and India. How wonderful. Maharaj has also written a book called Krishna's Way, Natural Living, about the importance of Varnashrama and spiritual ecology. Haribol. So wonderful to hear Maharaj's brief introduction. I don't see Maharaj has not yet joined, so devotees, if you would want...
Mataji, Maharaj joined, Mataji.
Oh, he's
here. I'm going to spotlight him.
Yes.
Yes, here.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all our Guru Maharajas. We are so fortunate to have your association today, Maharaj. Whenever you are ready, you can take the call over. We are currently, Maharaj, in Canto 8, as you know, and we are in chapter 7, verse 32. Whenever you're ready. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kama Dvavanti Purara Kalagavanekam Bhuta Druhasha Pataita Sutaye Natate Yastvantakala idam atma kritam swanetra Vagni spuringa sikaya basitam naveda. Translation: when annihilation is performed by the flames and sparks emanating from your eyes, the entire creation is burnt to ashes. Nonetheless, you do not know how this happens. What then is to be said of your destroying the Daksa Yagya, Tripurasura, and the Kalakuta poison? Such activities cannot be subject matters for prayers offered to you. Purport: since Lord Shiva considers the great acts he performs to be unimportant, what was to be said of counteracting the strong poison produced by the churning? The demigods indirectly prayed that Lord Shiva counteract the Kalakuta poison, which was spreading throughout the universe. Go on to the next verse. Yes, Twatma Rama Guru Berida Chintanangri Dwandva Charatam Umaya Tapasavitatum Pataptam Katanta Ugra Paurusam Niratam Samsane Te Nuram Uttamavidam Stavahata Lajaha. Exalted, self-satisfied persons who preach to the entire world think of your lotus feet constantly within their hearts. However, when persons who do not know your austerity see you moving with Uma, they misunderstand you to be lusty, or when they see you wandering in the crematory, they mistakenly think that you are ferocious and envious. Certainly they are shameless. They cannot understand your activities. Purport: Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam yata shambhu. It is therefore said, Vaishnavera kriya muda vijnana bhuya. Even the most intelligent person cannot understand what a Vaishnava like Lord Shiva is doing or how he is acting. Those who are conquered by lusty desires and anger cannot estimate the glories of Lord Shiva, whose position is always transcendental. In all activities associating with lusty desires, Lord Shiva is an implement of Atmaram. Ordinary persons, therefore, should not try to understand Lord Shiva and his activities. One who tries to criticize the activities of Lord Shiva is shameless. Gyan timirandasya gyanajana salakaya chaksu unmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nervase Sasunyavadi Pastyatya Satarine Panchakalpa Tarubhascha Vipa Sindhupe Bacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Tejo Samraja Sire. Statement from the Shastras would say one cannot understand the activities of the great personalities. And people try anyway, and they give their opinions or their somewhat intellectual, what we say, evaluations, which always fall short. You have to hear from Shastra, from great souls, from the Lord himself, and you have to practice devotional service, even to get a little inclination of the activities of a great soul. It looks like, from the material perspective, that Lord Shiva is acting like an ordinary person. And he does things that are what we say not normally done by persons who are what we say transcendental. He wears ashes all over his body. His followers are ghosts and other very low forms of creatures. But these followers are not his dedicated followers. They follow him in order to get some material benefits. And Shiva gives them some material benefits, which allows them to make a little bit of advancement away from their ferocious consciousness. In other words, they gain something by worshiping Lord Shiva. We see even in the Krishna conscious movement, you talk with many devotees, you'll find that many devotees before they came to Krishna consciousness had some connection with Lord Shiva. He's very popular amongst people, but for the wrong reason. But still, even if they worship him for the wrong reason, because he's a great soul, they get benefit. But to worship him for the right reason, to get one immense benefit. What is that right reason? That he can guide one towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here it mentions Vaishnavanam yata shambhu. This is part of a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, towards the end of the Bhagavatam, in the end of the very last chapter in the 12th canto, glorifying Shiva as the topmost of all Vaishnavas. And we can understand by this particular section of Bhagavatam where he risks everything in order to save others. When the ocean of milk was being churned, before you can get the nectar, the poison has to come out. This is also very instructive. Before you can get Krishna consciousness, you have to get rid of those dirty material desires. And so the process is like that. In the beginning, we may not be experiencing so much transcendental happiness, but because we're in the process, we're getting purified. And getting purified means getting free from our material attachments and the reactions of our previous sinful activities. And therefore, it may seem to be different, but actually what's happening is the process is working nicely, as long as one is following, that is. And so when the ocean of milk was being churned by the demigods and demons made a truce to get the nectar from this churning, they worked together. But the first thing that came out was this very powerful poison called Kalakuta. It was so powerful that it could destroy the whole universe. There was no one who could deal with that poison except Lord Shiva. And so Lord Shiva was requested. And seeing the dangers of this poison spreading, he drank it. But his wife, Parvati, Uma, she caught his neck so it wouldn't go down. And therefore, he has a spot on his neck. Therefore, he's called Kalakanta. Sometimes he's called Nilakanta, because Kala means black, Nila means blue. So it refers to Lord Shiva, who drank an ocean of poison but kept it in his throat. And therefore, he's glorious for saving the whole universe. No one else could do that. Therefore, he is also glorified as the topmost of all Vaishnavas. For devotees, we honor Lord Shiva as the best of all Vaishnavas, and we can also pray. Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are practically the same. Just like if you have milk and you turn the milk into yogurt, you can't use the yogurt as milk anymore, but yogurt is only milk. There's nothing else in yogurt but milk, but it's in a different state. But it cannot be used as milk anymore. So Lord Shiva is actually the same quality as Vishnu, but he has a certain characteristic where he comes in contact with the material energy in order to uplift the conditioned souls who are in the lowest forms of material existence, his followers, who are, various types of low creatures coming from the very lowest part of the universe. And at the same time, he kills the demons. He's very powerful. He's a warrior also. Anyone who fights with Lord Shiva will lose. The only one that could not beat Lord Shiva was Lord Krishna. And there are two stories. Actually, only one story, but Lord Shiva actually fought with Lord Krishna to protect his demoniac disciple Banasura. But that's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Shiva's powerful, very powerful, but he's a mystery because he plays different roles. He's a demigod. He's also the nature of the absolute truth. Although he is not God himself, he plays the role of being the perfect spiritual master to raise those who would never come to Krishna consciousness in the ordinary sense of the term. He's very merciful in that way. He also gives material benedictions for those who perform austerities. He gave material benedictions to Banasura. He gave benedictions to Ravana. He gave benedictions to Vikrasura, because both him and Brahma are in a position to accept worship from anyone with a particular, just like Lord Brahma was worshipped by Hiranyakasipu to get power. And Brahma gave him so much power that he felt like he was immortal. Of course, he wasn't, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead kept all of the benedictions of Brahma intact and still killed the demon. But that was the Lord's superior intelligence. But Brahma gave him those benedictions that he could not be killed in so many different ways. So these demigods, sometimes when Brahma also gave benedictions to Hiranyakashipu, the Lord actually chastised him later on, saying, don't do that again, you just cause a lot of problems. Of course, he did it again anyway, but the Lord chastised him. So Shiva is also like that. So we can pray to Shiva, Vaishnava Yata Subhu, to give me devotion to Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 24th chapter of the 4th canto, the whole chapter is prayers by Lord Shiva to Lord Vishnu. And it's a long chapter. There's more than 70 verses in that chapter. And it's all beautiful prayers by Lord Shiva to Lord Vishnu. So Shiva is a very mysterious personality. He's criticized, and he's also, sometimes he gets angry very easy. He's called Asutos, which means easily pleased, but he's also easily angered too. So therefore, sometimes people anger Lord Shiva, and he does things that they regret. For instance, one time Lord Shiva was with his consort Parvati, and they were in their forest. And there was I think this was in Kailash. And Parvati and Shiva were in a very, what we say, compromising position. And some soldiers came. No, actually, some sages came. And then Parvati realized that there were some men coming. So she got embarrassed and took the natural remedial measurements. And the sages realized that they had come at the wrong time, so they left. But Parvati was disturbed by that. And she told Shiva, never let this happen again. So Shiva, he put a curse that anyone who comes into the forest will become a woman. And so one group of soldiers riding on their horses, they came and they entered into that forest not knowing. And all of a sudden they looked and they realized their gender had changed from male to female. It was quite shocking for these soldiers. Anyway, this is how Lord Shiva does things. He wants to please. He's also called the father of all living entities. That means he's the second super soul. He knows what's in the heart of all living beings. And he helps the devotees to make progress in devotional service. Like that, we pray to Lord Shiva to give us devotion to Lord Krishna, to devotion to Lord Ram, like that. Shiva, by nature, his mood is to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Lord Ramachandra. He's more attracted to Ram than he is to Krishna, although he worships both, like we do. But we are more inclined to Krishna, or at least most of us are, because we are followers of Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is teaching the mood of Vrindavan, which is the mood of Krishna's intimate pastimes in his most intimate abode in the spiritual world. Shiva is also, he's there at the beginning of creation. He's called Sadashiva. When creation needs to be enacted, Mahavishnu glances towards the pradhan. The pradhan is the aggregate of all material energy in an unmixed form. And when that glance, carried by Ramadevi, hits the pradhan, all of the ingredients of the material energy start to move, and they separate into their different forms: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. They become distinct. In that glance, there is three factors: the living entities who are injected into the material energy again to pick up where they left off in our last. Yeah, we have to remember that this creation is temporary. Although it's long, it's still temporary. And at the end of the creation, the living entities go back into the body of Mahavishnu and stay there for an unlimited period of time, billions and billions and trillions of years, before the next manifestation begins. And in order to enact the next manifestation, Lord Shiva assists the Lord in that particular function. And the time factor, the living entities, and Shiva are part of that glance. That's why he's called Sadashiva. There is an original Shiva in the spiritual world. In the material world, every universe has a Brahma, every universe has a Shiva. There are millions of Shivas, there's millions of Brahmas, but there's the original Shiva, which is called Sadashiva, who has this planet in the spiritual world. And that Sadashiva combines with Mahavishnu, manifested as Advaitacharya in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Shiva is a very glorious personality, and we can read about him, his activities, but one should not try to imitate him. People think they can imitate Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva used to smoke ganja sometimes, not a regular thing, but at times he would. And the hippie movement for many years were thinking, well, we can also smoke ganja because Lord Shiva did it. And then we would challenge such personalities that if you want to imitate Lord Shiva, then you can imitate him by drinking an ocean of poison also. But then they back off, because that's not possible. So there are people who like to imitate Krishna when he dances the rasa dance, or Lord Shiva when he somehow or other at times smokes some ganja. But these are great personalities. As we began the lecture, Teja Samrajo Sire, great personalities can do things that ordinary personalities cannot do, where they are not affected by it. They do it for some reason. Sometimes we don't know the reason, but ultimately we accept because they are great personalities. Yeah, so there are examples of that in Lord Shiva's activities. And one who criticizes the activities of Shiva, thinking he's just an ordinary person or he's acting ordinary, Prabhupada uses the word shameless. That means they have no understanding of what is spiritual life and what is material life. They're just speaking without even thinking. So this is it. So as it says here, his position is always transcendental. He's Mahadev. He's the greatest of all the demigods, but at the same time, he's above the demigods in the role of the manifestation of the personality who is in charge of the mode of ignorance. As Brahma's in charge of creation, Vishnu's in charge of maintenance, and Shiva's in charge of destruction, as we heard from the previous verse. And he does it as a service, and it says that he's not even aware of how he does it, because he's empowered by the Supreme Lord to take on that service. So this is also understandable in Krishna consciousness. the success of our devotional service is to become empowered by the Lord by Him giving us His mercy in different ways. He gives you intelligence. He gives you the qualities that are conducive to devotional service. He helps to manifest those qualities. He gives you everything you need. You become empowered. And when you preach, you can change the hearts of others if you're empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like that. So this empowerment is coming from the source of empowerment. Just like when Prahlad Maharaj was being harassed by his father, Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu couldn't even hurt a hair on his body. Hiranyakashipu was frustrated. He was mortified. He said to his son, "Where do you get your power from?" And Prahlad immediately answered, "I get my power from the same place you get your power. You get the same place everyone gets the power. There's only one source of power, and that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Because Hiranyakashipu didn't want to hear that. But it is a fact that all power comes from one source, that is Krishna. And Krishna can empower you to do so many wonderful things. But at the next moment, if you become proud of your accomplishments, he can pull that power away and you can't even tie your shoe. Believe me, these things happen. Devotees have done some tremendous, amazing things. But as soon as they became proud or they fell down from their devotional service, they couldn't do anything, practically. We have the example in the Bhagavatam where Krishna is showing that same point to all of us through Arjuna. When Arjuna, at the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, he was moving some of Krishna's queens from one place to another, and a band of infidel cowherd boys attacked Arjuna, and he couldn't defeat them. He was mortified. It would have been easy normally to defeat such infidel cowherd men, but he couldn't. And later on, when he met Yudhisthira was asking him, what is happening? He said, "I have my bow, Gandiva, I have my powerful arms. I have everything. But now, because Krishna is gone, all of that is useless." So one should never become proud of anything, because everything is given to us by the Lord through His mercy. When He wants to empower someone, that person becomes empowered. And even if one tries to become empowered, and the Lord doesn't grant that, Shrama eva hi kevalam. It's a useless waste of time. You can't do anything. The Lord Shiva is powerful, but he always keeps his mind focused on the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, on Lord Ram, his worshipful deity. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Thank you so much for sharing the beautiful stories. We are so fortunate to have your association. Devotees, if you have any questions, realizations, please don't hesitate to either unmute yourself or raise your hand and ask His Holiness. He's right here.
No Shivites out there? Nothing about Lord Shiva, huh? Shiva's interesting. He can raise as many questions also.
We have Balwan Prabhuji. If you'd like to go ahead, please. Hare Krishna, Balwan Prabhuji. I don't know if you're on mute. We don't hear you.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Hare
Jai. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Mhm. I think your audio is not so clear. Balaban, we'll come back to you. Let's take another question for now. We'll come back to Balaban.
Yes.
And
So,
the-
Bhagwan Prabhuji, your mic keeps breaking off. So maybe we can take from Shiv Kumar Prabhuji if you'd like to go ahead, please.
I think it seems like he's traveling in a vehicle. Mhm.
I am traveling right.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to
Oh.
to keep the connection stable. Mhm.
I'm sorry. I'll type it in.
Okay.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Mhm.
Hare Krishna. Stand out palms. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Maharaj, one question I had, Maharaj, on Lord Shiva. We hear that Shiva is also in the spiritual world, in the spiritual realm as Sada Shiva. And there is also this Gunavatar of Bhagavan himself for creation and destruction as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Just wanted to understand, Maharaj, is there any connection between the Lord Shiva's the spiritual form versus the Gunavatar from Bhagavan himself?
Well, in each of the universes, there is a Shiva. I think we mentioned that. And the original Shiva is Sadashiva. He manifested himself as a combination incarnation with Mahavishnu in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes as Advaita Charya. That's the original Shiva. He's Mahavishnu and Sadashiva in one. That became Advaita Charya. But every universe has a Shiva who's in charge with the gunas, or what we say, the mode of ignorance. So he uplifts people in the mode of good in ignorance to the mode of passion, or even to the mode of goodness, if possible. And he also maintains the mode of ignorance. So there are many Shivas. Mhm. The one we hear about in the Bhagavatam is the one that's in this universe. Yeah.
So Maharaj, just to clarify, Maharaj, the Lord Shiva's role as in the destruction, that has no connection with the Sadashiva form, is it, Maharaj?
No, it's the Shiva in this universe.
Okay.
No, the Sadashiva doesn't do that. But Advaita Charya also showed great anger towards the conditioned souls who refused to worship the Supreme Lord. It's one of the features of Shiva. He gets angry. And when he gets angry, when it's time for the pralaya, devastation, he gets into action. And then he dances the dance called Tandava. You've seen pictures of the Tandava? You're from India, you must have seen the pictures of Shiva in the dance of Tandava. Huh? There's inscriptions in different temples.
Yes.
Yeah.
The name Maharaj, yeah, dancing posture is.
Yeah, it's really, there's a place called Satara in Maharashtra. It's a big compound. And inside the compound, there's a temple of Lord Shiva. And on the outside of the temple, there are many carvings of Shiva and dancing in the Tandava dance. There's at least 55 different positions that he gets into. He's also the author of what do you call it? Hatha Yoga also. He teaches Hatha Yoga.
Mm,
He's the master of Hatha Yoga.
mm, mm,
And plays many roles.
mm, mm.
But
Thank you.
our relationship with Shiva is Vaishnava Yata Shambhu. He's the greatest of all Vaishnava.
Mm,
Therefore, we honor him and we worship him. Not worship, but we pray to him for getting free from our material attachments and bringing us to Krishna consciousness. He's also called the father of all living entities.
mm,
Only three people know the hearts of all living entities. One is Krishna within the heart, Antaryami. The other one is Yamaraj, who has to judge all the conditioned souls at the time of death. And the third one is Lord Shiva. These three know the hearts of all living entities.
mm.
So your name is Shiv Kumara. That means you're the son of Shiva,
Mm. That's all. I think I'm not sure. It refers to Kartikeya, I think.
Kartikeya, yeah, it's one of the sons of Shiva. Kartikeya is a warrior.
That's good.
So are you a warrior?
No, not at all, Maharaj.
You're more like a Brahmin. The beautiful name, is that an initiated name or is that given by your parents?
Given very karmic name, parents.
Okay. That's going to be a hard one to change when you get initiated.
I'm hoping and desiring to get some Vaishnava names, Maharaj.
Yeah. Shiv Kumara, there's many sons of Shiva. There is Ganesh is also a son of Shiva.
Mm.
Kartikeya. Who else? There's one more, I think.
Lord Ganesh.
Skanda, right?
Names, yeah. Skanda, Subramanya.
Yeah. Subramaniam. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. And,
We got the same name. My name is also Lord Shiva, too.
yes, Maharaj. I actually heard it in one of your lecture, Maharaj. You were saying when somebody was asking question about the attachment to demigods and then transitioning to worship of Krishna in Krishna consciousness. And you were mentioning that in the early days, you were also attracted towards Lord Shiva by the time you came into Krishna consciousness. Maharaj, I was listening to it.
When I came into Krishna consciousness, I was still somewhat attracted to Lord Shiva. Still am, but not in the same way. He's interesting. He's mysterious also.
Thank you so much. And,
But he's very kind to the conditioned souls. Sri Devi, you're on.
Thank you. Maharaj, this topic of Lord Shiva is very interesting to me because I too was very much attracted to Lord Shiva before I came to Krishna consciousness. I was also attracted to Ganesh. We hear a lot about how Lord Brahma is born from the lotus navel stem of the Lord, but we don't hear so much about how Lord Shiva is born. How does he take birth or where he comes from? That's one. Secondly, are there many different types of Shiva? Like there are 3 types of Brahma because we hear of Rudras. There are 11 Rudras. So what's that all about? I'm a little curious to know.
Well, a lot of questions. But if you read the 3rd canto, when Brahma was manifesting the creation, Shiva appeared from the anger of Lord Brahma, because the 4 Kumaras were sons of Brahma, but they refused to follow the instructions of their father. So Brahma got angry, and when he got angry, Shiva appeared, or Rudra appeared. So, but Shiva's eternal, but he manifested at that particular time at the beginning of creation. That's in the third canto, and you can read that. And Rudra, there's 11 Rudras. And the fierce manifestations of Lord Shiva. And Durga as his consort. He has, Durga is his consort, Uma, Parvati, Sati. Same person, appears in different forms. When Sati emulated her body in the Daksha Yagya, she again reappeared as Parvati, the daughter of the mountains, and then they became reunited again as Shiva and Parvati, like that. So yeah, we know at least 4 names for Durga, and Durga is the controller of the material energy. The word Durga, Durga, Dur means to go, and Ga means difficult. So another meaning of Durga is fort, like a fort. So to get out of a fort is very difficult. So to get out of the material world is difficult. And therefore, it's like a fort. Therefore, another name for this material manifestation is Durgadam. In fact, there is 3 Dhams, Devi Dham, Mahesh Dham, and Durgadam. Well, this is really interesting. You read the Bhagavatam, you get a lot of this knowledge. And Shiva is mentioned throughout the Bhagavatam.
Yes, that is true.
So yeah.
So just one more follow-up of that, Maharaj. I was asked this question actually. Is Lord Shiva in charge of the mode of ignorance, but he is transcendental? Similarly, Brahma is in the mode of is in charge of the mode of passion, but he is also not in the mode of passion. He is in the mode of transcendence, right?
Yeah, but it says because they touch this mode, they have to directly deal with the mode. They sometimes become affected by the mode. Brahma chased after his daughter. That was Brahma. Sometimes is subject to the same mode that he's creating, the mode of passion. Shiva also, he gives sometimes benedictions to demons, and the demons turn against Lord Shiva. Vikrasura was an example. So yeah, Prabhupada said, just like sometimes you have to go fishing. Of course, we don't go fishing. But someone who maybe are going fishing, sometimes they fall into the water. It's not their program to fall into the water, but they're dealing with the water all the time. So, and sometimes due to the association of these modes, they become affected by the mode. But Vishnu is in charge of maintenance, and he's not affected by that mode at all. Because Vishnu is above Shiva and Brahma. Yeah. Any more questions, Sri Devi, on Lord Shiva?
No, Guru Maharaj, I think I'll wait for others and then I will ask. I'm sorry, I asked too many.
No, your questions are really interesting. I need some real good questions on Lord Shiva.
So, what induces Lord Shiva to accept Parvati as a wife? Because he is like very much renounced and he's always meditating on the Lord. He doesn't get affected even when she comes very close and touches him, etc. We hear it's very famously described about how the Lord is Shiva is untouched by these modes. So still he is
Yeah,
induced to accept a wife. How does that happen?
yeah, but he's Dira. The story of Parvati worshiping the genitals of Lord Shiva when he was in meditation, and he was not disturbed by that. And so he's transcendental. He's Dira. He's not moved by any of the material energy. But sometimes something happens, and it seems like he gets connected with some activity that reflects the mode of ignorance. Like, yeah. But that you might say that might be there for Leela also.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. When he
but
asks for that Mohini Murti form of the Lord to be manifested, and the Lord says, that's not a good idea. And he says, no, I do want to see. And then he loses it.
yeah, Shiva's a grihasta. Brahma's a
Mm.
grihasta. Prahlad is a grihasta. Who else? Janaka, he's a grihasta. What's his name? Yamaraj, he's a grihasta. I'm mentioning the Mahajans now. There's 12 Mahajans.
Mm.
Bhishma Dev, he's a brahmachari. Kapila, he's a brahmachari. So you see within the 12 Mahajans, there are both grihastas and brahmacharis. Who else there? Yasaki, Sukadev Goswami, he's a brahmachari.
The four Kumaras also brahmacharis.
Yeah,
Kumara, Kapila, Manu.
yeah.
Swayambhuva Manu is a grihastha.
Yeah, Swayambhuva Manu is a grihasta. So what it means is, I mean, they can teach the path of bhakti. So it doesn't limit to one to be a sannyasi or brahmachari. Even grihastas can, if they are pure. Bhavni, she's a Shivite.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances, always to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, I just had a question that came up to me. So, what if an incident like this happens that there's a speaker in the temple hall and I'm having prasadam, but I really want to attend the speaker's class because he barely comes. So, if I throw the prasadam and go to the speaker's class, then what does that count, or how do I get reactions?
Don't throw the prasadam, just take it later. That's practical. Just take it, just pack it up and take it later. And if you throw it, that's not good.
Okay, Maharaj, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, Mungi.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my pronouns to you. Very, very nice, interesting class. I am one of the people who was worshipping Shiva, and he kindly directed me to Krishna. In the class, if I correctly understand, in the class you had mentioned that Shiva is like a second super soul. So because he knows what is in our heart. So, Maharaj, does he function similarly as Paramatma in our heart, or his function is different just to encourage bhakti?
This is a little bit complicated because it mentions that Shiva is the father of all living entities because he was there during the time of creation when Mahavishnu threw his glance into the Pradhan and all of the living entities connected with the material energy. And Shiva also was in that glance. So he's called the father of all living entities. Also, in the sense that he also guides the living entities. He has his own sampradaya called the Rudra Sampradaya also. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether that Shiva, what we're talking about, is the Sadashiva, the original Shiva, or the Shiva that manifests in every universe. I would think it's the Shiva that manifests in every universe also. Because we could pray to Lord Shiva even now when we're worshiping Lord Krishna for his mercy to guide us on the path. You can pray to any great personality, especially Shiva, because he's Vaishnavaya Dal Shambhu. He's the best of all. So, yeah, it says that he also, along with Yamaraj, knows the hearts of the conditioned souls. In other words, it doesn't mean he's there sitting in the heart, but if he wants, he can know the heart of any living entity, if he wants. In other words, it's not that he makes that a service, but if he wants, he knows the heart of all living entities, he can guide them accordingly, like that. It's a service he can do also. Seems like to me, it's the main person that's guiding us is Krishna within the heart, Antayami, the manifestation of Supersoul. Yamaraj can know too, but he doesn't guide you. He simply calculates your pious and impious activities. That's all.
So Maharaj, this I'm not very familiar with Rudra Sampradaya, how that works. So, do they think that their Antaryami is Shiva?
I don't know. Rudra Sampradaya is in South India mostly. Now, what is it? Who is it? Who is the head of the Rudra Sampradaya? Yes. Vishnu Swami. Vishnu Swami is the head of the Rudra Sampradaya. He's the original manifestation, just like every Sampradaya has a Sampradaya head. Our Sampradaya head is Lord Brahma. Like that.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
You'd have to do a little bit further investigation. Those who are maybe is what's his name is still on the line here? Shiv Kumar, is he still here? Yeah. Shiv Kumar.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj, I'm here.
You're in South India, right? You must be in contact with the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, right? Rudra Sampradaya down there?
Not much, Maharaj. I'm in touch with the Sri Sampradaya, Maharaj. Few devotees from Sri Sampradaya, but not Rudra Sampradaya.
Rudra Sampradaya is scattered in different places in South India. I'm not exactly sure where their center is. Yeah, that's the only one that remains a little bit obscure. The Sri Sampradaya is manifested in Tirupati, I think, and the Kamara Sampradaya is mostly around Vrindavan. And our sampradayas, of course, we follow Lord Chaitanya, therefore we follow Lord Chaitanya as the prominent person within our sampradayas.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, and you might have to do a little bit more investigation on that topic. You might contact Bhakti Vikash Maharaj. He might know. He's probably pretty knowledgeable of these things. Or where you are, Shiva, and you're close to Bhanu Swami. Bhanu Swami is an ocean of knowledge. He probably has some understanding of the Shiva, the Rudra Sampradaya. Why don't you do a little research? I'll give you a little seva. See if you can contact Bhanu Swami. He's available, right? He's not far from you, right?
Yes, Maharaj. We can contact him through emails, Maharaj. Maharaj responds to the emails.
Yeah, he's good. He knows a lot. He's one of the most learned devotees in our whole movement. Yeah, so you can ask him about, about the Rudra Sampradaya. How can we learn more about the Rudra Sampradaya?
Yes. Yes.
Pavani, you look different.
We had some question from Sridevi Mataji.
Yeah, I have a little bit of follow-up question on Lord Shiva. We also see that Lord Shiva is given the role of guarding a holy place. Like we have Gopishwar Mahadev, Chakaleshwar Mahadev, we have Kshetrapal Mahadev. Then in Udupi, we have Chandramaulishwaram. That temple, we are advised to go there first, take Shiva's blessings, then only go to see Udupi Shri Krishna. So like this, what is that particular Leela, or what is the origin of how Lord Shiva is given that particular role?
What, Chandramauli Mahadev, you mean?
Yeah, there is a very beautiful temple of Lord Shiva in Udupi. It is called Chandramaulishwara.
I've been there.
Right. It's just opposite the Udupi Shri Krishna, and one is encouraged to go there first.
It's just one of the insignias of Lord Shiva. Chandramauli is the same thing, meaning one who carries the crescent moon on his forehead. Chandra means moon, Mauli means heads. Go to the who's our we got. She's still here, Nina.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, go to the 8th canto, 18th chapter, verse 28. 8:18:28. Do you satisfy Sri Devi's question here? 8:18:28. Will somebody read?
Lord Shiva, the best of demigods, who carries on his forehead the emblem of the moon, receives on his head with great devotion the Ganges water emanating from the toe of Vishnu. Being aware of religious principles, Bali Maharaj knew this. Consequently, following in the footsteps of Lord Shiva, he also placed on his head the water that had washed the Lord Vishnu's feet.
Yeah, purport.
See, so the purport says, Lord Shiva is known as Gangadhara, or one who carries the water of the Ganges on his head. On Lord Shiva's forehead is the emblem of the half moon. Yet to give supreme respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva placed the water of the Ganges above this emblem. This example should be followed by everyone, or at least by every devotee, because Lord Shiva is one of the Mahajans. Similarly, Maharaj Bali also later became a Mahajana. One Mahajana follows another Mahajana, and by following the Parampara system of Mahajana activities, one can become advanced in spiritual consciousness. The water of the Ganges is sanctified because it emanates from the toe of Lord Vishnu. But Maharaj washed the lotus feet of Vamanadev, and the water with which he did so become equal to the Ganges. Bali Maharaj, who perfectly knew all religious principles, therefore took the water on his head, following in the footsteps of Lord Shiva.
Okay, go to the go for the word for word.
Word to word meaning?
Yeah, and you'll see.
So, yes.
Where does it say? Lord Shiva, Chandramauli, who carries on his forehead the emblem of the moon. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where the name comes from. That's what the name means. Okay, Sri Devi.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for that explanation about Chandramauli. That's the meaning of that word, is the name of Lord Shiva. I have a little follow-up question about Lord Shiva being given the role of a Kshetrapal. You know, in different holy places, he's given the role of guarding that particular tirtha. Like we have Gopishwar Mahadev, Chakaleshwar Mahadev, Kshetrapal Mahadev, like that. So how come he is given this particular role? Is it because he has pleased the Lord so much that he is given that particular role? What is the leela behind that?
He's called Dikpala. Dikpala means one who guards the directions. I think it started with one particular pastime, wherein Lord Shiva wanted to take part in the rasa dance, and he came into the area of Vrindavan, and he was walking around, and then he met Lalita Saki. Lalita Saki said, "What are you doing here?" He said, I want to take part in Krishna's rasa dance." She said, "There's no men allowed here in this place, only Krishna." Well, but he was adamant, so she said, "All right, if you want to take part, you have to have a female body." So he said, "Fine." So she pointed him to a kund. She said, "You bathe in that kund." And he took his bath, and when he came out, he was a gopi, and he still had his Shiva symbol on his head. The crescent moon was still on his head. So Krishna shows up, and he sees who's his gopi, and he starts laughing. Who's this cute little gopi? Looks like Shiva. But then he realized it was Shiva, and he said, "Shiva, you can't do that. If you want to take part in the rasa dance, you can guard the rasa dance. You can guard the rasa dance." So he got that service. That's why he's called Gopeshwar Mahadev. And he's also called Dikpala. He guards the different directions like that. Nice pastime wherein Sanatan Goswami was on that one hill. What is that hill called? Teal, something Teal. He was meditating on this hill all by himself. And one person came to Lord Shiva. This is somewhere else. And he wanted something, he wanted a benediction from Lord Shiva to become rich. So Lord Shiva said, "Well, you should go to Sanatan Goswami. He has a touchstone. He's very magnanimous. You ask him for his touchstone, and I'm sure he will give it to you." So this very greedy person was thinking, "Wow, okay, So he went to this mountain where Sanatan was meditating, and he approached Sanatan Goswami, offered his obeisances, offered some prayers. Sanatan said, "Why have you come?" He said, "I heard you have a touchstone, and Lord Shiva has sent me here. So please give me that touchstone." And Sanatan said, "Oh, that touchstone? Oh, yes. Oh, you just go down that road a little bit, you'll see a garbage dump. And in that garbage dump, you'll find the touchstone." And so he got all excited. He went down, went digging through the garbage dump and found the touchstone. And now he's so happy. He's taking, because touchstone, you touch it to metal, and that metal turns into gold. So he was touching it to all metal, and it was becoming gold. And then he was thinking, Sanatana Goswami is a really intelligent sadhu. Why would he keep a touchstone in a garbage dump? So he was thinking he must have something more valuable. And then he was thinking, I'm going to go back and ask him for that thing that he has that's more valuable than this touchstone. So he went back, he came back to Sanatan, and he said, "Sanatan, I know you're a great soul, and you are the greatest in intelligence also. So you must have something that is even greater and better than the touchstone." And Sanatan said, "Yeah, I do." And then he said, "Well, I want it." And then Sanatan said, "Well, in order to get it, you have to throw away your touchstone." "Throw away my touchstone?" "Yes, that's the requirement for getting it." So he threw it away. He said, "Now give it to me." He had faith. And Sanatan said, "Just repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare." Very instructive. If you want to really chant the holy names, you should not chase after anything in this material world, even touchstones. So that was a lesson for all of us. Get rid of all of that unnecessary burden called material attachments, material desires, material adventures, and simply chase after Krishna and chant the holy names, and then you'll be the richest person in existence. You'll be wealthy. Why? Because the holy name is so pure that when you chant it, you can also capture Krishna. And who's more greater than Krishna? So even the greatest amount of wealth looks like something insignificant and puny compared to the holy name. Harinam, 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 Evalon, Kalon, Niyasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva, Gatiranyita. The mercy of the holy name is the supreme mercy of Krishna in this age. Chant Hare Krishna. When your mind is thinking, what should I do next? Don't think any farther. Just chant Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Very nice pastime. Thank you so much for telling us this. That too on the eve of Janmashtami, where we are really welcoming the Lord into our hearts again. So nice to meditate on this pastime, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for giving us this mercy today.
Yeah, do we have Balavan Nitai? Is he still around?
There's a question on the chat box that I think you wrote. He says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. My question is, we see some devotees worship Lord Shiva because his one name is Ashutosh. He becomes pleased very easily. So they worship him so that all their lust, anger, greed, and pride vanquish. So it is good to worship him for this purpose?
But where does the Shiva get his power from? Why flatter the policeman when you can flatter the governor?
Yes, Balavan Prabhuji, please go ahead. We cannot hear you though.
I think he's still traveling in his
Mm.
vehicle there. It looks like he's on vacation somewhere.
Not quite. The Krishna temple in Farmington here has a tremendous amount of weeding. And so for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, I've been doing an hour or so a day of weeding. But we got John Mastami, of course, coming up. And so it seems more vital to try to get this done, but it's still too huge a task. Anyhow, boy, this discussion of Shiva super interesting. And yet it seems to me that Shiva still has this strange double stature within the Krishna community. I definitely have heard some very down talk on Lord Shiva over the years from some devotees here or there. And in fact, one time, and
Prabhuji, you just broke off. We cannot hear you.
Yeah, don't repeat what the ignorant people speak. That's not.
becoming accustomed to wearing the white robes of Krishna consciousness. I was told one time I was wearing a black outfit, and a devotee came up to me and said, "You are not Shiva. You should not be wearing black." And so I was sort of chastised. And that wasn't the first time that, or the last time, someone chastised me for wearing black clothes. Is that a thing? Am I unconsciously or unwittingly emulating Lord Shiva by wearing black clothes? Is it forbidden to wear black? And then I think you've answered earlier, though, whether or not worshiping or honoring is the same thing. And so honoring Lord Shiva, even praying to him, is okay, but worshiping him is not. And so I guess...
Yeah, saffron is the color of fire. So devotees wear saffron robes to burn up, because fire burns up all material desires. And so that's the significant meaning of the saffron color robes. The white robes means, actually in India, the sadhus wear white. They all wear white, the sadhus. Right, Shiv? Kumar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, the sadhus all wear white. But Prabhupada adopted white dress for the grihastas. Black, it says that white is the composite of all colors, and black is the absence of all colors. Sometimes black indicates something foreboding, something negative, sometimes it says that black symbolizes death, because the Lord of Death, death personified, he wears black robes. So he wears a hood with a long cape. It's all black. That's the Lord of Death. So we just kind of stay away from wearing clothes that are of that color. Devotees are bright and cheerful. Black kind of is morose, like that. Okay.
So you would say it was emulating Shiva in that sense?
No, you're just not wearing the right color, that's all. You're not trying to emulate Shiva. It doesn't say anything about him wearing black anywhere. I don't know where they got that idea.
Nice. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah. Okay. Ina, are you still there?
Yes, Prabhuji. We have question from Trupti Mataji. Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, all dear devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Humble obeisances to you, Guru Maharaj. My Danvat Pranam to you. Wonderful class, Lord Shiva's discussion. I don't have a question, but I just like to. There is two lines of this bhajan that we've been taught since we were children, and to honor your name because it starts with your name, and honor today's Lord Shiva's discussion. If I have your permission, I can try and just sing two lines.
Well, we got this far. We can't stop now. Okay.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
How to do?
Hey Candramauli, Hey Chandrasekhar, Hey Shambhu Trilochan, Hey Sankat Vimochan, Hey Tripurari Archan, Jaya Jaya Hey Shankar, Hey Bhasmang Sundar, Hey Pashupati Hari Har, Hey Chandramauli, Hey Chandrasekhar. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, all glories to Lord Shiva. That's nice. You sing beautifully too.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
That's nice.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Trupti Mataji. We have a question from
Okay, we're taking a little longer because we're
Shranki Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, just a follow-up question on Balram Prabhu question. You mentioned like we should avoid wearing black. So is it for a general day-to-day life, or it is like when we are going for any spiritual program or temple that time?
I don't know. I don't like black. It's just, some people like black. I just don't like it. If somebody gives me something black, I give it away.
Okay.
But I mean, Krishna's black, but we like him. We don't dislike people who are of the black race either. But colors give a message. If you wear yellow, you look happy. If you wear red, you're passionate. If you wear blue, you are very, what we say. If you wear green, you are very ecological. So
Blue, I think,
colors
is for
actually
peaceful.
indicate certain moods, certain indications like that. Colors have meanings also.
Sure, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Well, I see you have black on now, so that's all right. Well, one thing good about black, if you drop something on it, you can't see it. So it looks clean, although it's not.
Definitely the number one benefit. You can't see any stains on it for sure. Yeah, that's part of why.
We did that one time. We did an exercise with colors. This was during one particular retreat in Switzerland. We were just picking colors and seeing what colors actually mean in different moods. Purple. Green means peaceful. Green is a peaceful. Just look at the environment. The environment's all green practically. Now, if the environment was all purple, you think you'd have any peace? Purple trees and purple grass and purple shrubbery, your mind would go, you'd be just like flying high. So green is a peaceful color. Yellow is a very serene color. White is a color of purity. Red is a color of passion, action. Orange or saffron is the color of fire. Colors, you can go on for a long time describing the colors and their actual significance like that.
Sure, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
It's like now when people die in India, in the family, people put on black to mourn somebody's departure. Yeah. So the mourning color is black also. Sukava, she wears all kinds of bright colors because she's Suki, very happy. Sridevi has another question.
I was remembering my mother who composed a song on Lord Shiva, and which we used to also sing as little children long ago. So when Trupti Mataji was singing, I recalled how my mother had, of course, composed the song and also taught us that song, Maharaj, long ago.
Same one.
Sorry?
The same song that she sang.
No, this was her own composition. The wordings are a little different, but it's glorifying Lord Shiva.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Shiva's very popular. Mhm. Okay, so yeah, it's time for me to depart. And so we'll see you all tomorrow for the regular Srimad Bhagavatam series. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna devotees, let's go ahead and offer our obeisances at Maharaja's lotus feet. One
Patitanam
Vaishnavibhyo namo namah.
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Candramauli Swami Maharaj ji
Jai.
Lord Shiva ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Dear Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very wonderful class. Very nice discussion.
Gauranga,
Thank you.